And on the show this morning, commercial production of crude oil from the country's second biggest oil field, Trinidad, Inyira and Ntom, is expected to start from the second week of August. Well, this is possible period that Joy Business is also learning from partners on the field. George Riafe was on the 10 FPSO vessel located around the Jubilee oil field area and has come through with this report.
This is the FPSO John Evans Atamils. If you talk about the size, it's about 3 football pitches put together. A different tube, they extract the gas, extract the water as well away. Now, this is not just a vessel that just extracts the oil, but it's more of a whole facility on its own. You can talk about 3 generators that generate actually 27 megawatts of power a day. It's not just a facility that actually extracts oil, as I said, but also you can talk about a compartment that accommodates people, a residential facility, a whole facility, a catering facility, as well as everything you can think about, like just call it a hotel on the sea. Right, the whole experience, because we're going to look at this vessel extracting about 120,000 barrels of crude a day. Now, this vessel, a lot of measures have been put in place to ensure that the challenges those accompanying the FPSO-1 or Kwame Nkrumah will not happen. Let's take a listen to one of the main men on this vessel.
If you look over here, then you'll start seeing valves. This is all of the product that comes on the facility comes through the turret. So oil produced, but after that, the water we inject, the gas we export, the gas we inject, all comes through this area here. So it's very complex and full of many pipes and valves, and a number of what we call safety valves as well. So on each riser, there is a safety valve that if there's any problems, it stops any product coming in and protects us from the subsea side of the business, which there is an immense amount of inventory, but also remember that our wells are subsea as well. She's 25 meters here, and the field is on a slope, so that's a lot of depth. That's 2 kilometers that we're working on the seabed, which is definitely deep water operations.
The FPSO John Evans Atamils is located at about 60 kilometers off the coast of the western region. But has Talu learned its lessons looking at the current challenges with the Jubilee FPSO?
Well, I mean, there was a whole range of lessons learned that were taken from Jubilee into the FPSO John Atamils. Indeed, industry experience was also brought to bear because the manufacturers have various other FPSOs. So we expect and we're quite confident that from a design perspective and from an operational perspective, we should see better output. But it's a plant, and plant and equipment can always break down, give you problems. So we remain confident that we've got the right fit for the purposes that we need today.
From my experience on the John Evans Atamils FPS, well, maybe I might not be wrong describing it as a 5-star hotel far away on the deep oceans of the sea that can accommodate about 120 people. Because for me, it's just more than a vessel that can be used to process and store crude oil. It also has a state-of-the-art metering system on board that can measure every volume of crude oil that is exported. which will go a long way to aid tax payments to government in the future.
This is the metering skid for the fiscal metering of exports of crude oil. And basically, you have 4 ultrasonic meters here, where you'll be using 3 at a time to export the crude oil. But then you also have a master metering system here to validate what the ultrasonic meters are pumping out. So this is a world-class certified metering system. At all times you have the customs officers here, you have representatives of the partners and government here to ensure that the vessel is offloaded, and there's also a check done on the vessel to see how much fuel the crude oil the vessel also actually receives. So you have a dual metering system, one on this ship with 3 different meters, also a master meter for us to validate all the various meters that we're using. So the ultrasonic meters, and then you have a much better meter as the master meter, which is only used when we are testing the ultrasonic meters.
According to the partners on the 10th field, the proposed second week in August will happen only if it is able to complete some critical test runs. They have a pegging daily production at the initial stages of about 50,000 barrels of crude oil and plan to increase it to about 80,000 barrels.
Well, I mean, look, we said 6 weeks from end of June. We're 2 weeks into that 6-week period. So the window remains the 4 weeks that's left. So that's what we're working towards. And my view is going to be probably more towards the back end than the front end. But it's still that 4-week window. We're going to ramp up from first oil to 50,000, hang around there for a bit, do the testing, as he said, performance testing and all those, and then ramp up progressively to the nameplate of about 80,000 barrels. Gas supply to Ghana is under the plan of development targeted for 12 months from first oil. But we're in discussions with the government. We're working with the GMPC, the Ghana Gas, to expedite that date. And we remain optimistic that we can do that.
When commercial production starts at the 10th field, it could go a long way to increase the daily production of crude from the country's oil fields, pushing Ghana closer to the dream of becoming a fully fledged oil industry in the region.
For the OCTP project, for example, we are working between 15 to 20% of the investment of about $6-7 billion being spent in Ghana. That's equivalent of about close to $1 billion US. And that is a lot of money for one development. And as we keep developing, we'll grow the capacity. Okay? Remember, some of these competencies can be leveraged in the areas of mining, shipbuilding, etc. And together, we will build a competence that this country will stand on to develop. So let us believe in what we are doing. We think we have a great story.
So the next time that you drive to a filling station to fill your gas, remember, if the crude came from Ghana, then it all starts right here, because this is where they extract the crude oil, work on it, send it to the processing vessel, because everything is done right here, and then send it to the refinery. They work on it, they extract the petroleum product, the diesel, the gasoline, the aviation oil, and they pump it into your vessel. This is the FPSO John Evans at Tamils, where it all begins.
And that's George Rafi there. And for those of us following the oil industry, the John Tamils FPSO has started test runs for oil production and will go a long way to increase total daily production of crude oil by Ghana to about 200,000 barrels of crude oil a day, and this is expected to be the target by close of this very month. Well, isn't that important? And we also do understand that commercial production is expected to start the second week of August. And that'll be it for AM Business this morning. As always, you want to get interactive, please make sure you touch base with us. So we have a page, Join News on TV, and then right now for this very show, it will be uploaded on our YouTube link, and please search for the channel. The channel's name is Major Online. And that'll be it for AM Business. Next, we have to bring you regular programming on the show. Do stay on.